Hey, 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 and welcome back to another promo day. We are in our day 7 for our predictable income system for online coaches and healers, where I keep bringing these amazing voices from the event so you can experience them in the real time. You can ask any questions if you're joining us live and know that we are here to support you, whatever you are going through. And before we dive in, I just wanted to introduce to you these amazing people. Da 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 da. Crystalline, I have you next to me. Can you please just share a little bit about yourself and who you are helping?
Yeah, sure. My name is Crystalline Bell, and I am a spiritual mentor. I'm the founder of Badass Butterfly Alchemy. I work with coaches at different stages, and I help you all build your business. I'm a business strategist, and I just love helping people figure out how they can position themselves to be seen and valued so that they can coach.
Beautiful. Love it. Great. Awesome. Thank you so much. And Jennifer, tell a little bit about yourself and who you are helping.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Sifert, and I'm a financial leadership guide, and I help entrepreneurs and business owners find out what's actually happening in your business from the financial side so that you can make grounded decisions into so you can have a great future. Been a CPA for over 20 years working in public practice. I no longer do that. I'm helping you personally now to clean up the messy, incomplete, and behind things so that you can be really current and decisive and know where everything's going so you can be super successful.
Love that. Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let's just dive in because I love as we are unpacking different topics. And again, for you to really experience all these beautiful voices with all the gifts and just really to immerse into the experience, do not forget to register for this amazing event. This is Predictable Income System interview series. That it means that you do not have to be in a particular day, in a particular time, anywhere. All is happening is just once you click that button to register, you'll start receiving in your inbox starting June 8th the 2 interviews per day, meaning that less than an hour you can connect with two of the speakers for that day and see what kind of topics we are talking about and claim their gifts. This is the best because I keep sharing that the value of every gift is combining over $5,000. So everybody has been very generous. And just think about it. What is something you're looking for? We have the experts in many, many different fields. If you feel like this is strategy would be something you want to understand better, tune into these kind of interviews. If you feel like you want to know more about social media, Crystalline is talking about the content. And if you want to understand your numbers to see what kind of picture is painted for you, Jennifer's interview is great, right? So we have the experts for everything. It's kind of pick and choose. And this is a great way for you to consume. It's not overwhelming, it's very manageable. And the best part, if you really want to keep coming back to these amazing interviews, there is a VIP pass offer, which is only $37 before the event kicked in. And you get to really come back to these interviews, soak in, because each interview like a mini master class. And that's the beauty of it. And you also get to connect with the people who are on a similar path through the Zoom rooms. And beyond that, everybody gets a chance to come to the kickoff party, which is going to be on Zoom. All the speakers, anybody who is joining us. Imagine the connection where you might connect with that person who could be your accountability buddy, who could be just like making some collaborations the way we are making these collaborations together. So just expand yourself to all these possibilities, because again, we have to make a choice. We have to click, right, and register in order to tap to these opportunities. So now I just wanted to talk a little bit about the consistency, right? Because sometimes what we can experience in our life, that it's very easy for us to be consistent in some areas of our life, but struggle in others. For instance, we constantly brush our teeth. We constantly pay our bills. We show up for the work. Yet, when it comes to growing our business, posting the content or following up or networking or making offers, consistency suddenly feels much harder. So why is that? Why is it happening? And this is exactly the theme of today's conversation, because people stay consistent when they believe that their actions start producing the result. So the challenge for the business owners is that we can post and people are not commenting. We can reach out and nobody replies. We can launch and only a few people sign up. So the brain starts asking, is this even working? And when the outcome feels uncertain, consistency becomes harder. And that's exactly something what we want to dive in together. And I would love to start with Crystalline. Crystalline, what's your take on that?
Thank you. I love this topic because, first of all, when you were saying it, I was getting very itchy, and I wondered because Irina, I believe you said that, or you implied that if we're getting good results, we are consistent. And I would suggest that even when we do get good results, we're not consistent. And there are another
Mhm.
number of reasons why. The number one reason has to do with our self concept, how we see ourselves deeply on a subconscious level. Is partially what's driving our ability to be consistent. I like to use people who are trying to lose weight as an example. They can be overweight, which is very uncomfortable for them, and then they can lose a significant amount of weight, and they can do the work to get down to a weight that is more healthy. It gives them more energy. It gives them the opportunity to feel better about themselves. And yet, there comes a point where they're not able to maintain, even though they've got these great results and things are on a positive path. That is not a determining factor of what keeps people consistent. And my work in psychology and mindset has shown me that a lot of this is dependent on how we actually see ourselves. That women who tend to gain weight back or to weigh a certain amount will return to that same weight because that is the image that they hold of themselves. Whether they see themselves as someone who's heavy or whether they see themselves as someone who is undisciplined, that is what's determining whether they are going to be able to maintain their new weight or if they're going to go back up after, months or even a year or more of being on the lower end of the weight. And I just believe that the same thing happens in business.
I love what you share. You know what comes to my mind? The thermostat. Because I remember when I was learning more about mindset, right? And I'm a big fan of Bob Proctor. He used to say, we have like this, like paradigms, and paradigms is just like the operating system that each one of us have, right? So there is no bad or good, it just is. And we can all actually up level it, right? So he was saying that look at the thermostat, right? If we are in the room and the thermostat is set at the certain temperature, the minute that the temperature, let's say, go down, the thermostat kicks in, and the same happens on with our paradigms. It's like our habits, our way of dealing with the life is pulling us back. That's why it requires some effort and changing in the habits. And again, like I keep talking about it all the time, like almost preaching, saying we were never meant to do this alone, because that's why it's so good to have somebody by our side, the guide, the coach, the mentor, somebody who can actually keep that energy with us, hold that accountability for us, right? Because if we do not have to answer to anybody, guess what, we would do everything just not to do it, right? Because it's easy to stay in the comfort zone rather than experiencing something uncomfortable.
Yeah, I totally agree. I agree. That's been
Beautiful.
my
Yeah.
experience. It's been my experience, and it's also been what I've witnessed in my clients. And it's true, the accountability is important. I like to just simply say, I need to remind you of who you
Mm-hmm.
are becoming.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Right, because the subconscious mind is constantly reminding of who they should be according to the unconscious self.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. Well, Jennifer, what is your take on that?
Well, I'm going to run. Well, the thing, consistency is just a word, and you either can be like consistently messy or you can be consistently clean. Like, so I talk about hidden financial pressure and why, the thing with an entrepreneur is your life is your business is your life. Like I'm with an entrepreneur, so we're both entrepreneurs, and business is pretty much our personal life as well, right? So you can get into habits and behavior patterns, and because I worked in the firms with hundreds of different entrepreneurs, I got to studying personal patterns that would come into your books. And if you got stuck in a pattern where you were always late and you did not take responsibility for that, you handle it, you threw it to your accountant to handle, you never really learned the new pattern. You just dumped it on somebody else.
Mhm.
And so that is a consistent pattern that you have of always being late, filing deadlines. Maybe you don't even show up on time for your appointments, things like that. So consistency can operate for you in a negative way. And your subconscious program and unconscious is also operating that. So awareness is very important with running your business and your life, because it gives you the opportunity to see where you can change and get better at it. And just like losing weight, like Crystal Bell was saying, we can handle it for 2 years or whatever, but then some other program, a paradigm, starts kicking in, and it's like, no, I'm going to go back to eating ice cream every night or something like that, because you don't feel good. So there's something that kicks in that all of a sudden you don't feel good about yourself. The self-concept starts not seeing themselves as the best that you can or the best that you are, and something gets triggered, an old pattern gets triggered, and you get brought back into that old paradigm that you used to run. And I know this for myself too, not just, we all have these addictive coping mechanisms to deal with stress, and hidden financial pressure can be, mild. You can be extremely high. You can be in survival mode with your business. And when you're growing a new business and you're not seeing the clicks and the like, and you're not seeing the results from all your efforts, you sometimes start consistently coping with how to deal with it. And you don't know that you've gone into an old paradigm or pattern again. So that's when it's good to work with the guides, the coaches, the healers, to help you become that person that you want to do, because ultimately if you want to live in the new paradigm that you want to have, you have to install a permanent lifestyle or business change. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't happen overnight, but if you take consistently little steps every day, after 365 days, you can have a huge change. And if you have somebody like us on your side, we're cheering for you and we're reminding you, and we're not shaming you or judging you, because guess what? We've experienced it ourselves as well. And we get to know you, and we're more than just who we say we are here. Like, we have so many different skills in our back pockets to pull out for you that we're using all types of tools to help you become the successful business owner and entrepreneur who's making predictable income, so that pressure stays stays at a balance that is enough to motivate you and keep you going, but also excited enough to grow and enough to not give up too. So it's always a balance.
Oh my God, so beautifully said. Thank you so much. Okay, let me just I'm still experimenting with these spotlighting things. Okay, let's see how it works. 1 second. All right, I think I got it. All right, so another great input for each one of you girls, and I just wanted to share another perspective of that, because consistency also can feel hard when everything feels important, right? When business owners have the list of 25 things they should be doing, and what happens at the end of the day, they feel so overwhelmed, and because everything matters and nothing gets enough attention. So I think one of the biggest breakthrough comes from asking, what are the 3 activities that move my business forward the most, right? And the more we kind of learn how to prioritize something, the easier it's going to become, right? And then consistency is easier when it fits our life, because many people create plans that they cannot really hold responsible to, right? For instance, somebody says, I decide to have 7 posts a day, 3 lives a week, daily emails, constant networking. And what happens? We become exhausted, we become drained. So the best plan is not the most ambitious plan. It's basically, the best plan is something that you can do one thing, but actually something that moves the needle. Anybody?
I love that you're saying this, Irina, and it's really confirming something that I made a decision about 3 months ago. So because I have a tremendous capacity to do a lot of work very quickly, I used to kind of really exercise that, and I took a lot of pride in the fact that I have a very strong back and I can get things done quickly, and I can go for hours and hours and weeks without a break. It is a gift, and I'm very, very grateful. However, that is not proper. Just because I can do it does not mean that I should do it. Yeah. And I started experiencing burnout last year, and I really struggled, and I hit a rock bottom where I kind of just had to stop everything. And I had been going for years, so it was quite a lot that I had gotten done, and then I was exhausted. And what I found this year was that now I am working to have bigger decisions. And I remember one of my mentors, Rachel Rogers, said, is that a $10,000 decision? And I thought, and then she said, or is that a $1 million decision? And I went, oh, oh, I thought that was I thought a $10,000 decision was a great decision. But then when I started making over $100,000, I realized that actually that's just a lot of busy work. And so those $1 million decisions are scarier because they're bigger, but they require actually less doing, but more
Mm-hmm.
being, more delegating, more, but also more being, yeah, more
Totally.
allowing, being more magnetic. And that kind of made me realize something about myself. The doing was keeping me from actually being, and the
Mm-hmm.
doing was my comfort zone. So consistency for me was getting things done on a regular basis. And I was known for someone who would get things done. However, the thing that I'm allowing now is the being more consistently, whether it's meditation in the morning and meditation at night, or just taking breaks in the middle of my day and just allowing my energy to recharge, more ideas to come in, and finding consistency more in being rather than consistently doing.
Mm.
I don't want to knock doing. Doing is important,
Yeah.
okay? But that being and finding consistency there was very important for me.
I love everything what you shared. Jennifer, would you like to add something?
I like that you're talking about that, because being current with our business and our financial the financial side of the business, like, and the delegating side and your energy and what works for you is so important. You're going to be more successful if you're not under a lot of pressure to do everything and you can't get new
Mm-hmm.
ideas. Like, we have to be receptive to the
Absolutely.
direction that our business wants to drive in. And yeah, the $1 million decision is way easier to make if everything is up to date with your business and you have a good team supporting you, if you can have that. And then you can be really present. And when
Mm-hmm.
you are present, you are more magnetic and more allowing to the direction of that $1 million next step, that next step that brings you to the $1 million. Yes, I'm going to focus my attention on this, because the small things that can keep us really busy, they might not add up to much. They might not add
Mm-hmm.
up to much at all. And we might get distracted with what we think is important, but it doesn't generate revenue. It doesn't generate revenue. And it just keeps you busier. I totally agree with what you just said, Crystal Bell.
Crystalline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can call me
Lynn.
Crystalline. That's okay.
Bell. It's Crystal Lynn Bell.
Yes,
My middle
that's
name
okay.
is Lynn too. Okay, now I know it.
Yes.
That's
You
okay.
know,
You're Lynn also?
I'm Jennifer Lynn, yes.
Ah, cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I like using both of my names. So yes.
you know what? This is like super, super, synchronized, because I was thinking about it like for the past couple of weeks, the same, because when we are busy in grind, we do not give ourselves the time to step back and just kind of reassess, right? Because again, the thing is, less is more, right? Not because we want to do a lot of different activities, right? But more like step out, reassess what's going on in the business, and then make that strategic decision, like what is something I want to do, like be on the visionary side rather than the side that, like something that we can delegate to. Because this is like also something on my mind, because when we are doing these certain pieces that could be actually given to somebody else to do, so we can actually, like Crystalline was saying, release out all these thoughts and all these activities from ourselves, and really see the bigger picture. Because again, awareness comes to ourselves when we are present, like Jennifer said, right? So the idea is, the more we start thinking upon, like all these things that I'm doing, are these the things that I can actually give to somebody else to do? And you know what? Sometimes when it even comes to the point, but can I actually have the budget for that? I feel that pressure of, like rather I pay somebody, but I am here connecting to my vision and actually tapping into more income. I think it all works together in harmony. So basically, once we make the decision, okay, I have to hire the team, then we start making the steps that actually prove that decision. So
Yeah.
that's my point. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your titles of the talk and the gifts that you're offering. Jennifer, I'll start from you. You're the first one on the screen.
So my talk title is Hidden Financial Pressure, Why Entrepreneurs Feel Stuck When They're Working Hard. So working hard can equal doing, doing
Mm-hmm.
lots. My free gift is a Get Currents assessment. And so it's 9 signs that you're operating under hidden financial pressure that's taking your clarity away. You can't make quick decisions and leading to stress. So the assessment will help you to see where you are, and then you can take your next step. But the thing with all of these free gifts that are in this summit that each one of us has is they lead you to a step that is like a decision. And we have to decide that we want to become the entrepreneur with a successful business, and it's feeding our personal lifestyle. And when you click on any of our gifts, you're making a little decision there. And then that next decision, you can take the next step. It's easy to get out of consistency when we overwhelm ourselves. Like I'm going to do 7 posts a day and I'm going to this much. Those are all great, but little steps that are leading to that $1 million decision are probably your most important.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Crystalline, how about you? What's the title of your talk and what is the free gift that you're offering?
Okay, so the title of my talk is The Content Trap: Why Talented Coaches Stay Invisible. And my free gift is the Content Trap checklist for coaches. And this whole thing, the talk and the checklist are partially there are a couple. It's based on 5 different ideas, but the primary idea is that we need to be visible, and in today's world it's very difficult to get seen, and we want to be able to create content that actually really speaks from our heart to the heart of our ideal clients. And we have to avoid anything that takes us away from our own heart space and that heart connection with our clients. A lot of what we have to do is about trusting that what we're doing is actually reaching the right people, but we do have to actually do the things to help our content reach the right people. And for me, the content trap is about understanding that we shouldn't get sucked into other people's ideas and what other coaches are doing or what other mentors are doing or what the biggest fad is. We need to be focused on what our heart is leading us to, but also, and I don't want to give the impression that I'm all about, just the woo-woo and the feminine, because even though those things are primary and even those things should be leading us, we need to have a masculine or a logical, rational, organized structure that supports our femininity, that supports our creativity. And that's where these things work together. We need to be able to create content that speaks from our heart, but we need to be able to deliver that content in a way that the mind can actually use it, and the way that it can also go out in a consistent, measurable, organized way so that our business is functioning like a business rather than some kind of chaotic field that's beautiful, but not actually producing anything. So for me, the content trap is looking at these 5 areas of your business and helping you to make sure that your content is reaching your heart, but also the mind.
I love that. And in order to have all these amazing gifts by Jennifer and Crystalline, you gotta sign up. So sign up and, like really tune into these conversations because, like I said, one conversation can give you the insight that you can take a completely different pathway in your business. And just claiming these gifts, this is amazing because such a powerhouse. So I truly truly recommend everybody. And just wanted to wrap up just quickly, Jennifer, why do you think people want to join this event?
Well, I think you're going to get exposed if you have been looking or seeking for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how, answers come is through people. Like we show up as a sign. So you might be watching today and you might be thinking, I was just thinking about this the other day. Take that as a sign that you're supposed to register for this summit. It's free to register. You're going to get 2 interviews that are 20 minutes or so long, and you're going to have time to digest them and experience it. And it comes out consistently. So it's like,
Yes.
you're going to be part of this summit and it's going to be consistent for, is it 12 days? No, 14 days.
14 days. Yeah.
You're going to consistently get some rock star.
The gifts. I always call it that surprise presents because every morning you get excited like that kid. Like what gifts did I get for my birthday, right? So consider it's your another holiday to celebrate yourself and just like opening up and connecting with these amazing people every day and just see who really resonates with you. This is the beautiful gift that you can give to yourself. Yes, beautiful. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Crystalline, what would you say to people to join? Why would they want to join this?
Well, I was just thinking about it. When I first started out as a coach, I every day listened to great thinkers. I listened to thought leaders. I listened to people who had what I wanted. And in a summit like this, there are people who are doing the work, who have done the work, and who know more than me. And I know a lot. And I know that in this summit, like Jennifer, I don't know what Jennifer knows, and it's not that you have to take on everything that you hear, but our minds are really, really powerful. And listening to people, even when you don't need it, opens up all kinds of channels, and it creates new opportunities for new neural pathways and new guides to come in, new ideas. And I think that that's a great reason to sign up for this summit. I think it's a great reason to just open your mind and open your heart and let us pour into you so that, even if all you do is you just listen passively and you download the gifts so that you can use them later, I think that is perfectly reasonable. And I have definitely gone back to things a year after I've downloaded it, and I've been like, I'm ready for this now. And use those things. And, I'm poised this year in my business to make $360,000. And that is not because of hard work. It's because of that balance of being and doing. And the reason I can trust this so easily right now, I can trust both of these, is because when I'm allowing that receptivity, so for example, just listening to the speakers on the summit, being passive about it. When that masculine, it's time to kick in and to make decisions, the feminine is fueled and the masculine is ready to take action. They really, really work together. So that's my reason for,
Oh my God,
suggesting that you
so
sign up for
beautiful.
this summit. I think you'll love it.
So, so beautiful. And you're so right. And you know what? Me personally, when I was interviewing each one of you and other speakers, I always learn something because, again, we are all so unique. And even maybe the same information, but it lands differently because somebody has a different point on that, right? And Crystalline, you hit on that, like new idea. And as my mentor said, idea is the first currency from the universe. Thinking about, tap into more income, more freedom. Just one idea that you can actually download during listening to somebody can be something that is going to open up these channels of predictable income for you, right? So again, join, register, and thank you so much, Jennifer and Crystalline, for coming today. And we had like such a beautiful conversation together. And for everybody who is watching, if you know someone who might benefit from this summit, please click and share. We invite you to share because you never know who is right now looking for this kind of solution that we are offering through this event. All right. Thank you so, so much. It was such a pleasure to have you. And we'll see each other tomorrow is another live. All right. Take care. Bye.